Algebra 1 students, in this video today we're going to be solving some good, solid thinking word problems, which are good for you guys. Some will be solved by just using math, while others will be solved by writing an equation and then solving that equation, okay? In fact, to be honest, we're going to look at 3 problems today. I think one of them involves writing an equation, and the other 2 are just simple, not simple, but just mathematics, okay? Your heading for today is word problems. Please copy that in your notes, lesson 3.5, and be sure and include today's date, alright? Word problems, lesson 3.5, and be sure and include today's date. Now, okay, let's jump right into this, alright? In order to save you time by not requiring you to write down the word problems in your notes, I have included the page number and the example number. So in that, I've done that so that you can write down the page number and the example number in your notes instead of copying down the entire word problem, because the word problems are pretty long. Now look at this right here. I don't want you to have to copy all that down, okay? So I've done that to save you time. Alright, here we go. Now in your notes, don't write down this word problem. Just simply write down page 160, example 1. And then later on, if you need to look back at the problem, you can open your books and look at the problem there, okay? Alright, here we go. You can work ahead or watch me, that's up to you. A page of your school yearbook is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, okay? So let's get let's get a picture of that over here off to the side. Okay, there we go. And so, it's 8.5. I'm going to lower this just down for a reason, just a little bit. It's 8.5 by 11 inches, okay? The left margin is 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm just going to start writing things on here so we have room, okay? So I'll put a little mark from here to here is 3/4 of an inch. Okay, that's your margin. That means nothing goes past this line on your yearbook page, okay? This is just space over here. To the right of the pictures, that means all the way over here on the right is 2 7/8. So we have a little longer border or margin here. It's 2 7/8, okay? So all of this is space over here, alright? There we go. Now, the space between each picture is 3/16 of an inch. How wide can each picture be if we're going to fit 3 across here? So we're going to put a picture here, a picture here, and a picture here. Now notice something, students. The pictures are allowed to go right up against the margin. That's fine because all of this is space over here, okay? So there's your 3 pictures. Got it? Have I lost you at all? If so, back up and watch this again. It's pretty simple. The entire length of this the entire width of this whole page is 8.5. The entire length of the entire page is 11 inches. Now, to be honest with you, we're not going to use that 11 at all. It doesn't matter, but still it's there. There's your right margin, 3/4 of an inch. Here's your left margin. Your right margin is 2 7/8 inches. And here's your pictures. So we know right here has to be what? Do you remember? What does it say? The space between each picture is 3/16 of an inch. Okay? So that means from here to here is 3/16 of an inch. And from here to here is 3/16 of an inch. Got it? So I'm going to do something here. See how wide this picture is? See that? That's that space right there in blue. See how wide this picture is here? That's the space in blue. See how wide the picture is here? That's the space in blue. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. If the entire length is 8.5, then all I have to do is take 8.5 and subtract out 3/4 of an inch. Subtract out 3/16 of an inch. Subtract out 3/16 of an inch. And subtract out 2 7/8. Now why would I do that? Because if I take my total and subtract this out, subtract this out, subtract this out, and subtract this out, I'm left with the total space be 16. Add all of these up, 15, 18, 32. So I get 32 over 16. That can't be right, I don't think. Let's see, 4, 12, 3, 3, 2, 14. Yeah, that is right, actually. Okay, so 32 over 16. Add up your whole numbers, you get 2. So don't forget now, 2 and 32 over 16 is 32 over 16 is just 2, guys. Think of if you reduce this, you would get 2 and 2 over 1. So you have 2 and 2, so it's 4. So when you add all of these up, you get 4. Got it? So that's what I'm going to subtract from 8.5. Let's look at it again. Remember, I'm adding up all of these spaces, and I got 4 inches. Then I'm going to subtract that from the total page, okay? So 8.5 minus 4, okay? 8.5 minus 4. 8.5 minus 4 is obviously going to be 4.5. So here's what I know. This total blue space here, plus this space is 4.5. How many pictures do I have? 3. So take 4.5 and divide it by what? 3, because it doesn't say what's the total amount of space for all the pictures. It says how wide can each picture be, or in other words, how wide is one picture, okay? So how do I do 4.5 divided by 3? Well, 4.5 is 9 over 2 divided by 3. 9 over 2 divided by 3 is 9 over 2 times, flip this, 1/3. Your 3 would cancel into your 9 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. And 3 over 2 is 1.5. So each picture can be 1.5 inches wide. Alright? Now, in other words, you can check your work. If I take 3/4 plus 1.5 plus 3/16 plus 1.5 plus 3/16 plus 1.5 plus 2 7/8, I will get 8.5. Okay? Back it up and watch again if you need to, guys. Okay, problem number 2. This will be the hardest one we're going to do right here. At East High School, 579 students take Spanish. This number has been increasing at about 30 per year. Obviously, French is a less popular subject because there's only 217 and it's decreasing at a rate of 2 per year, okay? At these rates, when will there be 3 times as many students taking Spanish as taking French? Now, yes, there's one method you could use called trial and error, in which you just start guessing. You try 1 year, you try 2, you try 3, you try 4, until you get the right answer. Do not do that. Let me say that again. Do not do that. Do you know why? Because on tests and quizzes, I intentionally give you problems that do not come out even. So trial and error will not work. I do that to make you use algebra, okay? Because in real life situations, you guys know as well as I do, things are not always going to come out even, okay? In fact, most of the time they won't. So let me teach you how to use equations. This is going to be a very tough problem, okay? So here we go. We probably should have done this one first. That's a lot easier than this one here, but here we go. Okay, I'm going to write an equation for the Spanish class. The Spanish class has 579 students, right? Spanish class equals 579 plus increasing, so plus 30 per year. So 30 times every year. Makes sense? 579 students plus 30 years. 30 times every year. Now let's write an equation for the French class. The French has 217 students enrolled. It's decreasing, so minus 2 students per every year. Okay? Now, this expression right here represents the Spanish class. This expression right here represents the French class. They're equal. Okay, see that? This equals S, this equals F. Now, here's where it's going to be really confusing. It's not easy for students to understand, so please watch carefully what I do. You might have to watch this a couple times to get it, okay? But I expect you to know how to do this after I've taught you this. Now watch what I'm going to do here. At these rates, when will there be 3 times as many students taking Spanish as taking French? Now remember, this is my Spanish representation. This is my French representation. I want Spanish to be 3 times bigger than the French. So I'm going to put an equal sign between these two, okay? And now I'm going to multiply the French by 3. Now here's why. Well, Mr. Earhart, just watch. Watch and listen, okay? If I had not multiplied by 3, then I was basically saying that the 2 classes are equal. And that's fine. But that's not what we're trying to find here. We're trying to find when the Spanish class is 3 times bigger than the French. So that's why I'm putting the 3 here and multiplying the French by 3. Now, logically, I call it, Mr. Harry, you're confused. You should multiply the Spanish by 3 because you want the Spanish to be bigger. Well, let's talk about that, okay? Let me ask you a question. I'm a decently good-sized guy, and I'll weigh in around 250, okay? If I've got a student I'm teaching who's smaller than me, let's say they weigh 150, okay? Actually, I don't like that. Let's say 125. If I want to make these 2 sides equal, do I multiply the bigger side by 2 or the smaller side by 2 to make these 2 sides equal? Well, I would multiply the smaller side by 2, and now both sides equal 250. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I want these 2 sides to be equal, I'm not going to take the bigger class and multiply it by 3. I'm going to take the smaller class. Look, I want the Spanish class. I want the Spanish class to be 3 times bigger than the French class. So I take the smaller class, multiply it by 3, and now these 2 sides are equal. Now let's solve it and see what happens, okay? You guys know what to do. Step 1, simplify both sides. I cannot simplify the left side. However, I can simplify the right side. This would be 21 carrier 2, 5, 651 minus 6y. 3 times 2, 17, 3 times 2y. Next step, eliminate fractions. There are none. Step 3, get your variable terms on one side, constant terms on the other. Take your negative 6y and bring it over. Bring your 579 over and make it negative. Over here, 30 and 6 is 36. 651 minus 579 would be 272. So I get 36 equals 72. 36y equals 72. Divide both sides by 36. And look at that, y equals 2. Booyah, perfect. So in 2 years, I know that the Spanish class will be 3 times as big as the French class. 2 years. Now you know what? Maybe I made a mistake somewhere. Let's check it and see what happens, okay? Here we go. Right now there are 579 students in the Spanish class. It's increasing at 30 per year. So in 2 years, it'll be 30 and 30 in 2 years. 30 for the first year, 30 for the second year. And I get 639, okay? Now the French class has 217. It's losing 2 students per year. So minus 2, that's 213. Is this number here 3 times bigger than this number here? Let's see. Yes, it is. 639. So my answer is correct. 2 years. Pretty good, guys. Okay. Alright, last problem. A gazelle can run 73 feet per second for several minutes. A gazelle, let's write that down. A gazelle can run 73 feet in 1 second, pretty fast. A cheetah, though, is better than that. A cheetah can run 88 feet in 1 second, okay? However, though the cheetah runs out of steam a lot faster than the gazelle, it can only sustain this speed for 20 seconds, okay? So how far from the cheetah does the gazelle need to stay for it to be safe? Now, you would think that the cheetah sorry, students, had to pause the video. Okay, now look, guys. Now, to me, it's obvious that in 1 second, the cheetah runs how many more feet than the gazelle? 15, right? Because the cheetah runs 88 feet in a second. The gazelle runs 73 feet in a second. So it's obvious to me that in 1 second, the cheetah gains how many feet? 15 feet. Is that okay with everyone? Here's the gazelle. Here's the cheetah. In 1 second, the gazelle would go right here, 73 feet, and the cheetah would go right here, 88 feet. How many extra feet is that from here to here? 15. So every second, the gazelle, excuse me, not the gazelle, in every second, the cheetah gains 15 feet. Now, the cheetah can only do this for 20 seconds. So we've got our answer, don't we? Every second, the cheetah gains 15 feet. He does this for 20 seconds. Multiply, and you get 300. And then the cheetah runs out of steam and he stops. He's tired, okay? So as long as the gazelle stays more than 300 feet, not 300 feet, or he'll be supper for the cheetah. But as long as the gazelle stays more than 300 feet away from the cheetah, then the gazelle will be okay. Because remember, in 1 second, the cheetah gains 15 feet. He does this for 20 seconds, it's 300 feet, okay? Unfortunately for gazelles, they don't have a calculator in their pocket, and they can't do all this math. But anyways, the gazelle must stay more than 300 feet past or away from the cheetah, okay? Theoretically speaking. Alright guys, this is just kind of a sample of the problems you're going to be doing. The word problems in your homework are actually more challenging than this, so work hard. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.